Welcome to another episode of Integration Insider. I'm Tim Bieber. This is Derek Marley, our principal integration strategist. And today we're going to share our migration journey with you and how you can engage with us. So this is a really interesting video where we share the roadmap of how we work with our customers.
Yeah, let's just share it and then people know how they can engage. I think that's usually the first part. People want to know, so let's just tell them.
Yeah, we've got some good visuals we can walk.
We'll keep it super short too.
Sure. Yeah. Good call. Okay, well, let's share screen here.
Yeah. Okay. So
we got sharing going. You're in control.
So what we want to do is, this is what we're going to talk about today, is this journey. So we've curated this. We go everything from discovery to estimating. So we're able to give you an estimate of what that migration is going to look like. Some organizations look at demonstrate, plan, delivery, operate, and then we have a little an extra one on the end that we want to kind of go through quickly as well.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I like the visual. I mean, people want to know that there's a path. There's a path and there's a journey and there's a process to when they contact us to when they have their migration complete. So that's a great visual. Let's dive in.
Yeah. So this is the actual artifact that we give back. So all the slides you're going to see, we actually go through and refine them every time we have conversations. We discover new things as we move through this migration. This is the piece that gets migrated that is a living document that we keep giving back. Yeah. Right. So along with recordings of all the sessions, we give this back so you can make informed decisions.
And there's value for the customer along the way. So
that's right.
If you decided to jump off of the path at any stage, you've received value.
Yeah.
And you can take that home with you.
Yeah. So I'll just kind of quickly go through the right-hand side probably of each of the slides. So we do, it's usually about a 55-minute call where we just really get to know each other, get to talk to you, understand why you're migrating, kind of all of the particulars that way. Then we go through and you're going to see we have kind of this notion of there's paths to migration, and we'll go through each of those three paths that we see today. And that's accelerated, a phase decommission, and augment, which we've done a video on. So if you haven't seen the video, there is a very detailed one on each of the migration paths that we kind of work through that in the call. And then making sure that we align, that we have the right goals. And so the outcome of this is, after we've discovered that, we really want to get you to an estimate. So what we'll do at the end of this call is ask for your MuleSoft usage report with a few questions that we'll have, which really drives the next stage, which is estimating.
Sure.
Right. So we're going to be able to give you an estimate. And I'm going to show you a sample one here where we're going to try to help you understand transparent costing. What is your, based off your MuleSoft vCore usage report, we can take that and map that. What is the platform on Azure going to cost monthly and then annually? And then how much is the migration cost going to come to, so that you can make informed decisions.
And we've got clear instructions on how to export, output, and provide that usage report from MuleSoft.
Yeah, we have a guide that we'll send you at the end of that call, that discovery call. But at the end of this one, we have the report. We want to present it to you. It has all the costs that we'll go through in a minute, and then we'll talk about the next ones. So in that report, we really get to this type of detail where we say, okay, based off of yours, this is your renewal data set. How many vCores do you have in production? How many apps? How many flows? And we kind of align on that. And this is what we're working off for the future. When we talk about migration, we come up with this migration complexity weighting, where we say all the math that's below that we're going to come up with to give you your price on the migration and your platform costs is based off this, like, of your integrations, what percentage is low complexity, moderate, and then high. And then we keep adjusting that as we, again, go through each of the phases. We'll keep refining this report. But this is kind of like, let's fill this part in. Next, we get into what is the platform going to cost. So again, we received your usage report. We've kind of worked together to work through some questions and answers, but we're going to get you to, this is the low end and this is the higher end based off of some attributes that we would decide, say, yeah, we want this tier of Azure. So we'll help you get through this. Yeah. And at this point, we probably use some resources at Microsoft to make sure we're getting the right platform, right costing on the platform as well. So we'll usually engage them. Then we say, based off that, what is it to go lift and shift off of MuleSoft onto Azure? And we say, again, low end, we see based off of all the projects we've delivered, we've calculated to say on the low end, for your full migration, in this case, in this scenario, it was $205,000 to do apples to apples migrate of the code. And we have MuleShift, which is our tool that really helps to de-risk the project, kind of deliver it quicker.
Right.
It does a mapping for us of Mule flows to Azure flows, data weave to transformations. It does all that stuff for us. So this is low end, high end that we, at this phase in this journey, this is what we say is the cost. And again, we're going to keep refining this as we go. And then we say as part of the migration, customers sometimes to decide to take on more of the architecture themselves or project management, or maybe they have a CI/CD team that's really proficient. So what we do is we say, let's pick a low percentage. So based off of how much the customer or the client wants us to do versus they can take on themselves, all of these elements they can do or we can do. And we just say, based off of our evidence, these are the ranges that you should probably look towards getting budget for to execute your project. So we're going to refine that as we go through the journey. The next phase of this one is demonstrate. And really, to us, it's a POC. Like, you want to kind of have more evidence that you're making the right decision to go from MuleSoft to Azure integration. Let's kick off a project. We have a very prescriptive, what we say is a POC. And you can go north of that or you can go south of that. But for us, we have an opinion of what that looks like. So it's really validating. It's about, hey, can we work together as a team? What would it look like if we work together? What portions? This really helps suss that out.
Right.
But this one, we like to say it's totally optional.
Right.
If you've already made the commitment, you're going to Azure, you've already worked things out, let's skip this stage. Let's save those dollars for where we call is the next one, where we do a plan with you, which is really a comprehensive migration roadmap, breaking it up to work packages, timelines, budgets. And then what we try to do is, after we've defined the work packages and timelines, is we start to talk to you about, if this work package here, we want to get to fixed cost, right? So we should be able to look at that with our tooling, MuleShift. We can look at that integration in that work package and say, we will do it for this amount of money. That's what it is. That's what it's going to cost us.
Yep.
So, and we can look at each one of those work packages and give you a fixed cost. We will migrate that for you and give it back.
Which is what our customers appreciate. They want to know that there's a fixed cost they can budget against.
Yeah, because ultimately we have a reference implementation on MuleSoft. We know how to get that to Azure, and we've done a video on retaining your architecture in Azure from a MuleSoft ecosystem. So watch those videos as well, because it walks through how we do it. After we plan, again, Tim mentioned any one of these, like if you wanted us to help with the demonstrate to do a POC, if you have enough information, you feel confident you can take this yourself, this is a point at which you can take what you have and we can be there to support you in any way you want. The plan, same thing. We can help you structure the plan. And then even the last piece, which is deliver, we can help you do that. Or if you have the team to do that, that's okay. So any one of these, you can kind of exit the journey.
Flexible in that way, that we work with the team, provide you the information, and frankly, don't work with us if you don't want to.
Yeah. So we just want to see customers be successful on migration.
Yeah, that's what's important.
So the delivery phase is what it sounds like. This is us engaging with you to work through those work packages, deliver them, and get them ready to go into production and decommission portions of MuleSoft. So we can help with that. Being the MuleSoft experts as well, we help you with planning on how you decommission inside MuleSoft and move over to Azure.
Right. So
along the way, it's kind of like a white glove service, you call it. And then last is operate. So we want to make sure that you can operate this at the end of the day. You've migrated it. How can we help you make sure you're successful operationalize? So that's this last piece in the journey. And then last is we have this new innovation fund that we have.
Yeah, this is exciting.
Yeah, so starting this year, where we say, and it's kind of logical, right? So an organization, if they're successful, in which they will be, to migrate from MuleSoft to Azure, they ultimately end up in the same spot they started at. Obviously, there's an ROI, there are cost savings, all those wonderful things that was the reason why you wanted to migrate. But at the end of the day, we want to make sure that you're innovating. So what we've said is we want to contribute 5% of the spend on the migration as a fund back for architecture dollars, as well as maybe a POC. So it's a way for you to maybe you want to take on some AI initiatives inside your integration. So we would provide those architects and maybe a POC on bringing on AI, but the 5% goes towards that. So it allows you to not have to go back and get another CapEx to do some innovation.
Sure.
We can help with that as a part of this migration. So I'm excited about this one for us and for the client.
And maybe if you're an integration team within a larger organization, it means that you've got an innovation fund that you can use with your small team rather than going back to the CIO,
That's right.
going back to C-suite, ask for more dollars. I like it. We're getting good reports back from our customers. So where we start supporting them through the journey from the beginning, from discovery all the way through to operate, we then further support them by providing a fund that allows them to just have more access to our architects.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So maybe we'll stop sharing here.
That was a good run through.
Yeah, I like this. Us working towards this, right? So for us, it's been a journey as well. We've been helping customers, but along the way, we've been able to learn. And I think the big one for us is, how does an organization start? And I think that most organizations, they really don't know how to start. So that's why we've taken the time to kind of pull this together for them, to help you kind of conceptualize, communicate with the decision makers along this journey, and show that we've kind of thought about the right things. We've given you the right estimate. Again, we're refining along the way, but we also know it's we can't have an organization commit to a big migration like that from day one. Yeah. So we want to make sure that it's bite-sized pieces. At any point, again, as we mentioned, you can come and you can go, right? So we want to make sure that we're always leaving you with something that you felt there was value in having this conversation and working through this journey at any stage. Again, no obligation to continue.
Yep.
But we also want to make sure that they're successful, right? Yeah, so I think by pulling this together, that's the ultimate outcome.
Yeah. And then having an understanding. We did a video, our prior video was the 3 paths. The 3 paths that we see organizations taking from more of an accelerated through to a phased decommission to more of kind of a hybrid approach. But really, I think what customers appreciate is that we've got a transparent approach. So I guess on that note, I mean, really the call to action here is that we've got a lot of this information on our website, hortoncloud.com, and then hit /migrate. So go to hortoncloud/migrate. We'll put that in the description below. There's a contact form there. Hit us up and start a conversation with us. We're happy to get you onto that roadmap and start that discovery and just let you know what the options look for your organization.
Yeah, I like it.
I think we covered it all.
Yeah, and again, I said quick, so we did it.
Yeah, that's good. A good snapshot of it. So on that note, we can get back to work.
Okay.
All right.